Have you ever wondered what secrets lie within the mind of an introvert? Not the version. People assume quiet, shy in their head, but the real inner world, the one filled with symbols, patterns, strong intuitions, unspoken emotions, and a private depth that most people never learn how to access. Let me paint a quick scene. You're in a room full of people. Conversations are flying everywhere. Laughter, small talk, noise, movement, and you're smiling, nodding, saying the right things, but inside you're watching everything. You're picking up on the unspoken tension in someone's voice. You're noticing the shift in a friend's mood before they admit anything. You're feeling your energy drop with each extra minute you stay on. And at some point, you think, why does this feel so heavy for me when other people seem fine? Now, here's the question. What if that sensitivity isn't a weakness? What if it's a signal that you're naturally tuned to the subconscious? In today's video, join me as I dive deep into the subconscious and try to unlock the secrets. Carl Jung pointed toward, because if Jung was right, the introvert isn't less social. The introvert is often closer to the inner doorway, and that doorway leads to the subconscious. So let me ask you a second question. What if the thing you've always thought was your struggle, being more inner-focused, more reflective, more sensitive, is actually the exact trait that makes you capable of extraordinary self-awareness? Let's go there. Carl Jung was a pioneer of depth psychology, a way of understanding the mind that doesn't just analyze behavior, but listens for meaning. Jung focused on the layers beneath the surface, the subconscious, the symbols in dreams, the hidden conflicts we avoid, and the archetypes that shape human life. And here's the key for introverts. Jung didn't treat the inner world as a distraction from reality. He treated it as a map that can help you understand your emotions, your relationships, your creative blocks, your anxiety patterns, and the invisible forces that pull you towards certain choices, even when you don't know why. So today we're going to explore why introverts are naturally positioned to work with the subconscious. Jung's core ideas, the personal unconscious, the shadow, archetypes, and the persona. How the subconscious actually communicates with you in dreams, symbols, and the body. A practical technique to start unlocking it safely and clearly. A simple weekly practice to build real inner insight without overthinking yourself into exhaustion. The biggest mistakes introverts make and how to avoid turning depth into anxiety. And as always, this video is for education and reflection, not a replacement for professional mental health support. If anything we discuss brings up intense distress, it's a sign to seek support from a qualified professional. Now let's begin with the problem. Introverts have been misread for a long time. People confuse introversion with being antisocial, being weak, being cold, being awkward, being too quiet, or needing fixing. But introversion isn't a flaw. Introversion is an orientation of attention. Extroverts recharge through external stimulation, people, action, novelty. Introverts recharge through internal spaciousness, reflection, meaning, quiet focus. And here's the challenge. Because introverts spend more time in the inner world, they often feel things more deeply, but struggle to translate that depth into clear expression. So what happens? They get labeled hard to read. They overthink conversations for days. They feel drained after social situations, and then judge themselves for needing space. They sense something under the surface, in people, but doubt their own perception. They carry unprocessed emotion, quietly, until it leaks out as anxiety, shutdown, or sudden burnout. This is where Jung becomes powerful, because Jung would say, the inner world doesn't go away. Just because you ignore it, it goes underground. And when it goes underground, it runs you from the shadows. Jung's framework can sound complex, but the core is simple.
Your mind has layers.
At the surface, there's the conscious mind, your thoughts, choices, and the identity you present to the world. Beneath that is the personal unconscious, experiences you've forgotten, repressed emotions, old wounds, internal conflicts, and patterns you repeat without realizing. And deeper still, Jung described the collective unconscious, the universal symbolic patterns human beings share. This is where archetypes live: the hero, the mother, the warrior, the lover, the wise old figure, the trickster, the hermit, the magician, and many more. Now here's the introvert advantage.
Introverts are often more sensitive to subtle inner signals.
A mood shift that comes out of nowhere. A dream that feels too real to dismiss. A strong gut feeling. A creative idea that arrives fully formed. A sense that a person's words don't match their energy.
Jung would say, those signals are not random.
They are communications from the subconscious. But to work with those signals, you need one more Jung concept that explains a lot of introvert struggle: the persona. Jung used the word persona to describe the social mask. It's the version of you that learns how to act. So you're accepted, how to be likable, how to fit in, how to avoid criticism.
Everyone has a persona.
But introverts often rely on it more, because social situations can demand more energy, and the fast pace can feel like a performance.
So the introvert learns a silent contract. I'll be pleasant, I'll be easy, I'll be agreeable. I won't take up too much space. And the persona works for a while, but if you live too long inside the mask, two things happen. You start feeling disconnected from yourself, and your subconscious starts sending stronger signals to get your attention. This can look like sudden mood drops after social events, irritability that doesn't make sense, feeling numb, even when life is fine, or a strange feeling that you're watching your life instead of living it.
If the persona becomes too dominant, the shadow grows stronger.
Because whatever you don't live consciously builds pressure unconsciously. So let's clarify the language of the subconscious. The subconscious rarely speaks in full sentences. It speaks in images, symbols, body sensations, emotional weather, repetition, synchronicities, meaningful coincidences, and dreams. For introverts, these channels are often stronger because introverts spend more time in the inner listening mode. But there's a catch. If you don't learn the language, the messages feel like confusion. You feel anxious, but you don't know why. You feel drawn to someone, but you don't understand the pattern. You keep procrastinating, even when you want to move forward. You feel tired, even when you've rested.
You feel off, but you can't explain it.
The subconscious is not trying to torture you. It's trying to integrate something you haven't fully met yet. Which brings us to the shadow. Jung's shadow is one of the most misunderstood ideas in psychology. The shadow isn't evil.
The shadow is simply the parts of you that you disowned to be accepted.
It can include anger you learned was not allowed, confidence you were shamed for, neediness you hid to seem strong, desire you judged as wrong, creativity you silenced because you feared failure, boundaries you never developed because you feared losing people, even joy, if joy once made you a target. The shadow forms when we learn, if I am this, I won't be loved. So we push that part down. But here's the twist. What you push down doesn't disappear. It becomes a subconscious force, and it leaks out in indirect ways: passive aggression,
People-pleasing.
perfectionism, social withdrawal, emotional numbness, sudden outbursts, or becoming attracted to people who carry the traits you repressed. For introverts, shadow material often shows up as silence that isn't peace, it's fear; withdrawal that isn't rest, it's avoidance; overthinking that isn't wisdom, it's control; sensitivity that isn't a gift because it's unprotected; niceness that isn't kindness, it's self-protection. So when we say unlock the subconscious, we don't mean become a magical mystic overnight. We mean start integrating what you've been avoiding.
That's individuation.
Individuation is Jung's word for the journey of becoming a whole person.
Not a perfect person.
A whole person, which means
You stop living as a performance.
you stop making choices only to be approved. You stop running from your uncomfortable emotions. You stop abandoning yourself for belonging. You start becoming real, internally consistent, integrated. And this is where introverts can shine. Because introverts often already want meaning over noise,
They want depth over surface.
they want truth over performance. They just need a method, a way to work with the subconscious without drowning in it.
One of Jung's most powerful tools was something called active imagination.
In simple terms, you create a calm space. You focus inward. You allow a symbol, image, or inner scene to appear. And you dialogue with it, like you would with a character in a dream.
This is not about making stuff up.
It's about letting the subconscious present what it wants to present, then engaging it consciously. Introverts are often naturally good at this because they can hold attention internally. Here's a safe beginner version you can try. The 5-minute subconscious unlock exercise.
Step 1. Create a container.
Sit somewhere quiet. Phone face down. No multitasking.
Say to yourself, for 5 minutes, I am just listening.
Step 2. Breathe and notice. Slow breath in, slow breath out.
Notice what emotion is present without judging it.
Not the story, just the emotion. Tension, sadness, restlessness, emptiness, curiosity. Step 3. Ask one clean question. Ask, what are you trying to show me? Or,
What do I need to understand right now?
Step 4. Let one image appear.
Don't force it.
It might be a place, a color, a person, a door, a child, an animal, a storm, a room, a symbol. Step 5. Speak to the image. Ask, who are you? Ask, what do you want me to know? Ask, what do you need from me? Step 6. End it cleanly. Thank the image. Open your eyes.
Write down 3 things.
What you saw, what you felt.
What one action? This suggests, even if it's small.
This is the beginning of a relationship with your subconscious. And the goal is not to become more intense. The goal is to become more clear. Now let's go one layer deeper, because this next concept explains why certain triggers hit introverts so hard.
Jung called them complexes.
A complex is an emotionally charged cluster of memories and beliefs. It's like a hotspot in the psyche. And when someone touches it, even by accident, you can react strongly without knowing why. For example, you get interrupted and suddenly you feel small and angry. Someone sounds disappointed and you panic inside. A person is distant and you spiral into overthinking. You receive criticism and your body feels like it's under attack. That's not you being dramatic.
That's a complex being activated.
The subconscious is showing you where healing and integration are needed. So here's a powerful question for introverts. When you overthink, what are you really trying to protect? Often, overthinking is a form of control,
A way to avoid feeling uncertainty.
a way to avoid shame, a way to avoid the fear of rejection. And the subconscious is saying, stop trying to think your way out of a feeling.
Turn toward the feeling.
Integrate it. Now let's talk about dreams, because dreams are one of the most direct ways the subconscious speaks. You don't need to become an expert. You just need a simple method. Here's a 3-step dream practice. Step 1. Capture the dream.
Write down where you were, who was there, what happened, and the strongest image.
Step 2. Identify the emotion. Ask, what emotion was present in the dream? Fear, longing, curiosity, shame, relief? Step 3. Personal association. Ask, what does this symbol mean to me personally? For example,
A house might mean my inner life.
a locked door might mean something I'm avoiding. A storm might mean emotional pressure.
A stranger might mean a part of me I haven't met yet.
Then end with one question.
What is my subconscious asking me to notice? You'll be surprised how quickly patterns appear if you do this once a week. And for introverts, dreams can become a private source of guidance, a map that helps you understand yourself without needing external noise. Now, here's the truth. Most people don't understand. Introverts aren't less powerful socially. They're often more powerful psychologically when they stop fighting their nature. Because the subconscious doesn't respond to noise, it responds to attention.
And introverts, when they're not overstimulated, can focus attention like a laser.
This is why introverts often experience symbolic insights, deep thinking, strong pattern recognition, creative breakthroughs, emotional intelligence, and an almost uncanny ability to sense inauthenticity. But it only becomes a gift when it's grounded. Otherwise, it becomes anxiety.
So the secret you're unlocking isn't some hidden power outside you.
It's the ability to trust your inner signals and translate them into real-world change. Now, here's a simple weekly system to make that real.
If you want to build a relationship with your subconscious, try this for 1 week.
Day 1. Dream capture. Write down any dream you remember, even one image. Then ask, what emotion was present? Day 2. Symbol tracking. Notice one symbol that appears in your day, a song lyric, a repeated word, a random image that grabs you. Write it down. Ask, why did this catch me? Day 3. Shadow check-in. Ask, what emotion am I avoiding? If the answer is anger, ask what boundary was crossed. If it's sadness, ask what you're grieving. If it's anxiety, ask what you're trying to control. Day 4. Body signal listening. Where do you hold tension? Jaw, chest, stomach, shoulders.
Ask, what does this tension want me to stop doing or start doing?
Day 5. Active imagination.
Do the 5-minute exercise we covered.
Write the result. Day 6. Creative translation. Turn one inner insight into a creative act. A journal page, a sketch, a voice note, a poem. A slow walk with a question. Not to perform, to integrate. Day 7. One real action. Choose one small action that honors what you've learned. A boundary, a conversation, a rest day, a decision, a no, a yes, a new habit.
That's individuation in practice.
Not theory. Now let's add one more practical piece that will save a lot of introverts from burnout.
Your energy is a budget.
And if you don't budget it, you'll keep paying for it with anxiety and shutdown.
Before a social event, decide 3 things. How long am I willing to be there?
What's my exit plan? What recovery time do I need after? And here's the subconscious piece.
If you never give yourself permission to leave, your subconscious will create a symptom to force you to leave.
Sudden fatigue, irritability, headache, shutdown,
Brain fog.
that's not weakness. That's your system protecting you.
When you respect your energy, your intuition gets clearer.
When you ignore your energy, your inner signals turn into stress. Now let's make this even more practical by naming the mistakes to avoid. Mistake 1. Over-intellectualizing everything.
Introverts are brilliant at thinking, but the subconscious speaks through feeling and symbol.
Don't try to win against your inner world. Listen to it. Mistake 2. Treating every emotion as a problem. Some emotions are messages, not malfunctions. Mistake 3. Using solitude as avoidance.
Solitude is powerful.
But if you only use it to escape people and fear, it becomes a cage. Mistake 4. Looking for a single big answer. The subconscious works in layers. You don't get one revelation and then you're done.
You build a relationship over time.
Mistake 5. Forcing inner work when you're dysregulated.
If you're panicked or overwhelmed, don't force deep inner work.
Ground first. Slow breathing, a walk, cold water on your hands, or talking to someone safe. Then return to the inner work. When you're stable,
Mistake 6. Trying to heal alone. When you're overwhelmed.
if your inner world starts feeling too heavy, you don't push through. You reach out. Support is strength. So let's bring this home. The introvert is not broken. The introvert is often standing closer to the subconscious door than they realize. And Carl Jung's work gives you a map. The subconscious communicates through symbols. The persona explains the mask that exhausts you. The shadow holds what you disowned. Complexes reveal your hidden triggers. Archetypes shape your patterns. Individuation is the journey of becoming whole, and your quiet nature can become a powerful tool when you learn to translate inner insight into outer action. Your inner world isn't there to trap you, it's there to guide you.
Now I want to hear from you.
What symbol or theme keeps showing up in your dreams or your life right now?
Drop it in the comments. One word is enough.
And if you want, tell me this too. Are you more of an overthinking introvert or a feeling introvert? If you found this helpful, subscribe for more videos on Carl Jung, shadow work, dream analysis, mindfulness, emotional intelligence, and personal growth. And if you want a powerful next step, watch my next video on shadow work. Because once you understand the shadow, everything you've been avoiding starts making sense.